Hi, lovely Lena. We thank God for the free gift of life, and today we are going to look at a few things in our world and our people. So let's set the ball rolling for today's lesson. Today, our strand for today is our nation Ghana. South strand is being a citizen, and but today we are going to look at some attitudes, that promotes peace in the community. But before we look at that, let's quickly do a brief recap or review on what we learned last week. Last week, we actually talked about the peaceful solutions to conflicts, or some of the ways that we can resolve conflicts in our community. We made mention of amicable settlements of disputes, alternative dispute solutions, or alternative dispute resolution, avoiding ethnic superiority, the law courts. We made mention of cooperation and avoiding derogatory statements or remarks. So by the end of today's lesson, we'll be able to identify at least 5 attitudes that promote peace in the community. 5 attitudes that promote, at least 5 attitudes that promote peace in the community. So in our communities, there are different people, different kinds of people living together. People have different ways of behaving. The way some people behave is good. This promotes peace in the community. So let's quickly look at some of the attitudes that we can exhibit to promote peace in the community. To promote peace in the community, we have forgiveness, tolerance, love for others, respect for people's views, avoiding the thoughts that our ethnic groups are superior to others, or avoiding ethnic superiority, and then avoiding insults, cooperation, and empathy. Forgiveness, tolerance, love for others, respect for people's views, avoiding the thoughts that our ethnic groups are superior to others, or in other words, avoiding ethnic superiority. And then we have avoiding insults, cooperation, and empathy. So we are going to take these attitudes one after the other. We're going to explain them for us to get a deeper understanding of each of the points or attitudes. Now let's look at the first one. We have forgiveness. Forgiveness is when we let go the wrongs people do to us. It is good we forgive others, or it is good we forgive people who wrong us. This will make them also forgive us when we wrong them. When we forgive each other, it promotes peace among us. When a friend, for instance, a friend of yours, insults you in a school, it is good for you to forgive that fellow, especially when the person apologizes. It is good for you to forgive that fellow, and it will help us, live peacefully and happily in the community. Now let's really move on to our next point, that is tolerance. Now, tolerance is when we accept and respect the behavior and beliefs of others. The behavior and the beliefs of others in our communities. People come from different ethnic groups. They speak different languages. They eat all kinds of foods, and so it is important we respect the beliefs of these people, even when we do not believe in them. It is very, very vital or important. Okay, this prevents conflicts in the community. It prevents conflicts in the community. And it is wrong to laugh at people's language. Do not laugh at others. Okay, so we must accept others the way they are, how they do their things, their way of living, and other views as well. So let's look at the next point, that is love for others. As the Bible says that we should love one another. We should love one another. I believe you are getting my point. You should love one another. So loving others is very, very important. Loving others an important part of promoting peace. When we love each other, we will treat ourselves with what? Respect. With respect. So even the Bible even says that how pleasant and how good it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. So love brings us together. Love, unites us. So for example, love brings humility, it brings kindness, it brings forgiveness, understanding, and others. If you love someone, you will not steal from him or her. If you love someone, so as the Bible says that we should love our neighbors as ourselves. We should love our neighbors as ourselves. So if you love your neighbor, you're not going to steal your neighbor's item. You not steal your neighbor's item or anything that belongs to your neighbor. So our next point that is respect for people's views. It is, in this walk of life, we are advised to respect others. So people may have different ideas when we are discussing issues with them. So it is polite to respect the views of others. Just because someone's opinion is different from your own, that does not mean that they are wrong. So let's accept others' view and we will live peacefully in the community. Now let's look at the next attitude, that is respect for avoiding the thoughts that our ethnic groups are superior to others, or in other words, avoiding ethnic superiority. Last week we talked about that and when we were treating the peaceful solutions to conflict. All ethnic groups are equal. I want you to have this in mind. All ethnic groups are equal. No ethnic group is superior to the other or to the other ethnic groups. I believe you get my point. So as the saying goes that we are all equal before the law. We are all equal before the law. So you should not think that you are superior to others because of the ethnic group you belong to. So for example, as I gave the example the other time that the Yoruba and then the Igbo. But today I would like to talk about, let's say, the Gans should not think they are superior to the Ewe or any other ethnic group. So it is advisable for us to show that love. We shouldn't be superior. We shouldn't show that attitude, that form of being proud or being, as people may say, being big. Or no, that is not it. That is not it. We should always show that love, that respect for each other. You shouldn't look down upon others or other ethnic groups. Our next point is avoiding insults. Insult is something that is not good. The Bible also speaks against that. Insult leads to conflict. It is good we avoid insulting each other. When we avoid insulting each other, we will promote peace in the community. It is very common to see the rich and educated people in the community insulting the poor. But believe you me, it is not good. It is not good at all. Insulting because you are well educated and maybe your fellow friend is less educated doesn't mean you should insult him or her. You should always love the person regardless of the situation or irrespective of the person's status. Okay, now we have cooperation. The cooperation is one of the points we mentioned the other time as well. So we must always cooperate. In other words, we must come together. So cooperation is when we agree and work with each other. When we agree and work with each other. When we agree, we are able to work together to achieve one goal. So working together creates a good relationship between people. When we cooperate with each other, it is one of the ways to promote peace in the community, or it means we understand each other. So let's quickly move to our next point. That is our last point for today's lesson. That is empathy. People go through problems, a lot of problems in their daily lives, and it is good that we understand and help them. There are orphanages and orphanage homes, and there are orphans there who need our help. So we are obliged to show love to them. We should try to be in their shoes and feel how they also go through such challenges or problems. We should try to see things the same way as our friends who are suffering, or as others who are going through certain challenges. So on this note, let's quickly do a brief recap or a brief review on what you've learned so far. So today we actually talked about some attitudes that promote peace in our communities. We talked about forgiveness, we talked about tolerance, love for others, respect for people's views, avoiding thoughts that our ethnic groups are superior to others, or avoiding ethnic superiority, avoiding insults, cooperation, and empathy. So my lovely panelists, I would like to use this point to encourage or entreat all of you to cultivate or to exhibit these attitudes so that we can live peacefully in the community. I believe you're getting my point. So I wish you all the very best, and on this note, stay blessed. Bye bye.